The studio was alive with electricity. The crowd's applause thundered as Robert De Niro strode onto the stage of Real Time with Bill Maher. Under the intense studio lights, he cut a striking figure, aged yet commanding, eyes sharp, his signature scowl barely softened by a forced smile. Bill Maher stood to greet him, offering a handshake that was more formality than friendship. "Good to have you here, Bob," Maher said with a smirk, taking his seat. "Thanks, Bill," De Niro replied, his tone polite but cool. Everyone watching knew this was going to be more than just a celebrity interview. The tension had been baked in the moment the booking was announced. Maher started light. Questions about De Niro's new film, his recent directing work, a few nods to his iconic roles. De Niro gave short but gracious answers. The real moment everyone was waiting for arrived when Maher leaned in, grinning slyly. "You've become quite the political activist," he said. "Not shy about your feelings on Trump." De Niro didn't blink. "There's nothing to be shy about. He's a threat to the country. Plain and simple." The audience erupted in applause, but Maher kept pushing. "But Bob, every time you go on air, it's Trump this, Trump that. Don't you think people are getting tired of the outrage?" "No," De Niro snapped, his eyes narrowing. "Tired of being lied to, maybe. Tired of corruption and cruelty, sure. But outrage? That's what keeps people from becoming numb." Maher chuckled, clearly enjoying the back and forth. "All right, but let's be honest, calling him a wannabe gangster, while you've played actual gangsters for decades. That's rich." Laughter broke out in the studio. De Niro didn't smile. "I played gangsters because that's fiction. I exposed the dark side of power onscreen. Trump lives it. And people like you joke about it." Maher raised his hands. "Okay. But maybe screaming about fascism every 5 minutes just makes it sound like background noise." De Niro leaned forward, his voice low and deliberate. "You don't scream when the house is on fire. That's the problem. You want it to be clever, digestible. I want it to be real." The room got quiet. Maher, sensing he was losing control of the segment, rolled his eyes. "Maybe you just miss being relevant." The silence cracked like thunder. De Niro's face hardened. "You smug son of a..." He stopped himself, standing slowly. "I came here thinking we could talk. But you're not interested in truth. You just want a viral moment." He pulled off his mic, ignoring the stunned murmurs from the crew. "You want your ratings. You got them." And just like that, he turned and walked off stage, his back straight, eyes forward. No dramatic pause. No glance back. Just a living legend choosing dignity over debate. The audience sat frozen. Maher blinked, speechless for the first time that night. The cameras rolled on, but the show, for that moment, had lost its star. Outside the studio, the night air was cool, but Robert De Niro was burning. He moved quickly, ignoring the producers calling after him. A staffer handed him his overcoat and phone, whispering, "You okay, mister?" De Niro. He didn't answer. His jaw was tight, his mind racing. What had just happened wasn't part of any PR plan. It wasn't about a new movie or boosting headlines, it was real. Raw. And it had come at a cost. Inside, Bill Maher tried to recover. The crowd was silent, unsure whether to laugh or clap. Maher gave a forced shrug. "Well, folks, I guess Bobby doesn't like jokes," he quipped, but the joke fell flat. Even he knew this wasn't just another edgy moment, he'd touched a nerve he didn't fully understand. Within minutes, clips of the exchange were on social media. Some users praised De Niro. "This is what speaking truth to power looks like." Others mocked him. Old man yells at late night host. The hashtag De Niro storms off trended worldwide by morning. Memes, think pieces, and reaction videos flooded every platform. The internet did what it always does, it turned a serious moment into spectacle. But something deeper was also happening. De Niro kept mostly silent for the next 48 hours. No interviews, no tweets. Just silence. He wasn't ashamed of walking off. He was angry that it took something so dramatic for people to start paying attention. On the third day, he agreed to appear on a quiet, independent podcast hosted by a young journalist named Ava Marin. No cameras. Just two voices. When she asked about what happened on Maher's show, De Niro finally spoke, calmly and thoughtfully. "I didn't plan to walk out," he said. "But when someone tells you that standing up for decency makes you irrelevant, what choice do you have? I've played mobsters and villains. I know the difference between fiction and power. Trump isn't a character in a script, he's a symptom of something rotting. And laughing it off doesn't make it go away." The interview went viral, not because it was dramatic, but because it was honest. People who had rolled their eyes at his outburst now listened more closely. For once, De Niro wasn't just a Hollywood icon, he was a voice shaking people out of their political fatigue. Bill Maher addressed it again on his next show, this time with less bravado. "Look, I might have pushed too hard," he admitted. "But I stand by the idea that we need to talk, not storm out." But De Niro wasn't interested in going back. The line had been crossed. In the weeks that followed, other artists and public figures began speaking up, not just with snark or slogans, but with the same kind of conviction De Niro had shown. He hadn't planned to become a symbol. But in a world where attention is currency, his walk-off had bought a moment of clarity.